next. Michigan Replay with Lloyd Carr is brought to you in part by Absa Water, delivering quality bottled water since 1908. By Sirius Satellite Radio. By the University of Michigan Alumni Association, uniting the leaders and best. www.umalumni.com. By State Farm, providing insurance and financial services. And by Pontiac, official performance machines of Michigan and the NCAA. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Michigan Replay. The final, Michigan 34, Ball State 26. As I talked with you after the game, you told me with great conviction, it's a great victory. And I, of course, had said, a little too close for comfort. And you took exception.
Well, let me explain why it was a great victory.
Okay.
We had a great group of senior players here, Jim, that were playing their last game in Michigan Stadium. A year ago, we weren't very successful at home, and these guys were undefeated and won their last game in the stadium. So from that standpoint, it was a great win.
And the other thing you did, you pointed out, you said, look, there's some good things that Michigan did in this game. 500 yards of offense. Defensively, you hold a team to what, under 50, under 40 yards rushing?
52 yards, I think, and we rushed for 350 yards. So if you look at it from a statistical
standpoint. It's easy for you to say.
No, it isn't. But, you know, the problem was we were too generous. We gave them their first 9 points, but we did come out of the gate. We received the kickoff and put together a great drive. Mike Hart on the first play runs for a first down.
And the thing is, at this point, it looks like you're going to do exactly what you need to do against Ball State. You kind of take control of the game, and this drive appeared to be the kind of drive that you were going to get it done.
Well, there on a third down, Adrian makes a good move and gets the first down, keeps the chain moving. Here on a third down play, Chad hits Adrian again for a first down.
And then you get Jerome Jackson in the ballgame, and boy, what a job he does.
Well, he picked up right where he left off a week ago, and they ruled this a touchdown, but after review, they made him do it again.
Well, he gets it anyway on this play, and you're up 7-0.
Well, that's a great deal for Jerome Jackson.
Senior.
Valuable guy to this team.
Playing his last game in Michigan Stadium. And your defense in the early going was stopping their run big time.
Well, I think we did a good job throughout the day, with the exception of a couple plays they broke on the last drive of the game.
Well, now here's where some of the trouble starts. They punt it down inside your 5-yard line. And this starts the problem.
Well, we miss a block here, and Mike does not secure the ball very well, so we turn it over. We get a safety here. He fumbles the ball back out of the end zone, and we've given them 2 points. Now we got to kick off from the 20-yard line and give them good field position.
But the thing that happens in this, when you give them that good field position, you're able to get the defense going. You get a great sack.
Prescott Burgess blitzing from the weak side comes up with a sack, and we're going to get the ball back.
But then again, here comes a problem.
Well, Chad just makes probably his worst decision of the entire season, and now we've given them 9 points in the first quarter.
9-7, you're behind, and at this point, what are you thinking on the sideline?
Well, I'm not thinking very good thoughts, Jim.
But the next possession, you know, you go back to the ground attack, and Mike Hart bails you out here with this big long run, and you get in great position. Then you get to the goal line, and this is a great throw by Chad to his tight end, Carson Butler.
Well, 3rd down and 6. It's hard throwing down in there, but he finds Carson Butler, and we retake the lead.
14-9 at this point. Defense continues to play tough. Then Brandon Miner gets a shot in the game.
Well, you know, here's another really positive thing about this game, Jim. A week ago, Brandon fumbled the football on a 3rd down, gives him the ball at the short end of the field. And but he came back on Saturday and had an outstanding day, and that was one of several outstanding runs he has. we get stalled down there, and Garrett Rivas becomes the leading scorer in Michigan history.
That's amazing. With those field goals, Garrett's able to pass Anthony Thomas to become the leading scorer. Your defense continues to play well.
Well, David Harris came up. We brought both linebackers in Harris and had the sack. Now we get the ball in good field position and a well-blocked play, and Brandon, with great effort, gets the ball into the end zone.
And at 24-9, you're probably thinking a little better thoughts now, right?
Well, I am, and yet on this drive, Ball State puts together a drive that was helped by a hit out of bounds, and here we come up with a big sack and force them to try a field goal right at the end of the half.
And they make it, so it's 24-12 at halftime. You're walking off, going into the locker room at half, it's 24-12. In your mind, where is this team, and what are you going to say to them at half?
Well, defensively, we played outstanding football, and we ran the football extremely effectively, but we turned the ball over twice, gave them 9 points. The score should be 24-3.
All right. Well, when we come back, we'll take a look at the second half. It got a little tight in the second half. But first, we hear from David Harris, as those little mistakes can cause big problems.
They got behind our defense couple plays and kept their hope alive. And at the end of the game, we, as a defense, we still stepped up to the challenge and kept them out of the end zone.
Inside the locker room.
You never want to frown on a win, but I mean, it just doesn't feel right that we didn't go out there and play our best. And I'm kind of glad we feel that way. You know, that's important to the coaches and to us, that we don't feel good about this, and we want to go in there and correct everything we need to do to go out and play better.
The Wolverines led Ball State at halftime, 24-12, and then opening up the second half. Your defense does a good job. You stop them, you get the ball back, and you start to put together another good drive.
We put together an outstanding drive. It's just the way you want to pick up 24-12. If we can score in the first drive, then we can take control of the game.
And Steve Breston had a nice day on Saturday, didn't he?
Yes, he did. He's had a lot of outstanding days, but he caught the ball, made some big plays in this game.
And he made a lot of third down catches. Here's a great third down catch.
Well, it's a great effort to get the first down. Jim, he just got past the marker there, and a diving, gave up his body there to pick up the first down. And Mike Hart here is leading this drive as we try to take control of the game.
And then you get it down inside the one, and you go to Hart again, and he pounds it in. And this gives you a 31-12 lead. And this is the point where you said we had control of the game.
Well, Jim, the only way they can get back in the game now is if we give up a big play in the kicking game or a big play defensively, and that's exactly what we do. Johnny Sears, who's a redshirt freshman, has played a lot of football this fall, makes a mistake there, and now it's 31-19.
31-19, and it gets a little bit tighter, but you come back and you continue to run the ball. Brandon Miner continues to work hard out of that backfield.
Well, that's an excellent run right there. He took the ball outside, cut it, leveled off, and picked up the first down.
And here comes Preston again, making a key catch.
Well, another first down. I thought Chad threw the ball extremely well in this game, with the exception of the bad decision he made in the first quarter.
And you get Obi Alibo the ball.
This guy's having a bang-up year. He's doing a great job in special teams, doing a great job blocking, and he's an excellent pass receiver.
The drive stalls out, though, in the beginning of the fourth quarter, so you bring in Garrett Rivas, and Garrett Rivas goes to the field goal.
Well, we answered with 3, and so 34-19 now. We want to play great defense, get the ball back, and nail this game away.
But the big play comes back to get you again.
Well, we have a young player in there that lost contain on the quarterback. One of the difficult things, Charles Stewart doesn't stay back. It's a tough thing for a young back to learn, and that hopefully will be a lesson for him.
They go pitch sweep, and they get in. And Lloyd, I don't want to make anybody nervous or anything, but it's 34-26.
Well,
were you nervous?
Well, we got a ball game.
No kidding.
You know, and obviously here we need now to take the ball and move it on offense. We don't, and here they hit. They got an outstanding tight end there. This guy's about 6'6".
Darius Hill, boy, he can play.
He's an outstanding player.
And then they hit this little pass over the middle. And again, they're on a drive to possibly tie this game up.
Well, we miss a tackle there and avoid a zone, and their quarterback makes a good play. And here, the first time, the best run of the day for them. Again, they're missing a couple of tackles, and that's a well-executed play by Ball State.
Now, here's a play. You get a sack, but then you get on third down, but you get a face mask penalty, and that hurts you because it gives them an automatic first.
Well, this was really a great stand by our defense because that was a third down play. They're going to have fourth down. Now they get first and goal, and we come up with 3 plays where we stop them, and fourth down, they throw incomplete, and our defense made a great stop.
They did a great job stopping them there, kept the lead at 8 points, and then Ball State gets one more shot late, and pressure is what causes this last gasp effort to be intercepted, right?
Well, Lamar had great pressure there, forced the quarterback to step up, and he didn't have enough time to let those 3 wide receivers get down in the end zone. So it was a good finish.
34-26, you get the victory, and see shaking hands with Brady Hoke, a former assistant of yours. We talked a little bit about it last week. He had his team ready. They played real well. You said after the game you want to take your hat off to Ball State.
Well, and Brady and his coaching staff did a great job because there was a time in there where we could have put that game away, and you have to give them credit. I think he did a great job because he's comes in here with a 3-6 record. What I want to say, Jim, is that the athletic director at Ball State and the president down there gave Brady a 3-year extension, I guess. I read about it this morning in the paper. And I think, it's a great thing because they recognize it's hard to build a program. He took over a program that was down, and he's not where he wants to be, but he's done a great job.
And it's nice to have the administration behind him and give him that 3-year extension, take him through 2010.
No question. He's a good man and an outstanding football coach.
And the Wolverines got a victory over Ball State and Brady Hoke. When we come back, we'll get up close and personal with Michigan's new all-time leading scorer. But first, we hear from Mike Hart, who gives us some honest analysis of Saturday's game.
I think it's hard coming in here playing at Ball State, at this point in the season. As a caliber team, they were the caliber team we are. We should win the game. Everyone knows that. So it's hard to get up for this kind of game, and that's one thing I don't think we did well today. I think we have to step that up in the future. Because if we come out like this next week, then we're going to lose.
It seems like he's been at Michigan forever. When Garrett Rivas stepped on campus 4 years ago, he became the Wolverines' place kicker, and he hasn't stopped since. During his career, there have been some huge kicks, and while Rivas doesn't have a top 10 list, there are a couple he remembers like they were yesterday.
Freshman year in Minnesota, I never had a chance to hit a game winner in high school. So Minnesota was always one that I put up there because it was the first time I'd ever been in that situation.
Here's the snap, placed down, Rivas kick on the way, high enough, long enough, and it is good! And with 47 seconds to play, Michigan has taken the lead at Minnesota. Turner Booth to snap it, Gutierrez puts it down, the kick is on its way. Long enough, high enough, Garrett pumps his fist, and Michigan wins in overtime!
Michigan State was a great time because I just missed right before it and was able to come back. And so, both of those are up there.
Like any kicker, Garrett downplays those kicks. Just go through your routine like any other kick. But clearly there is huge pressure on those game winners. For Rivas, you shouldn't be afraid of pressure. Rather, you should embrace it.
I think you have to love the pressure, and that's part of, you know, when I came to Michigan, like Coach Carter always told me, you're going to be in pressure situations. I'm going to put you in them, you know, in practice every day. And then, I mean, at the end of every practice, we have a 2-minute situation, and there's almost always a field goal at the end of that. And, I mean, not to mention Coach Carter's 5 feet behind you while you're kicking with his little stopwatch. And, I mean, if you miss, he doesn't even, sometimes he won't even say anything. But you turn around and you look at him and you just know. I mean, that pressure's always around you. So, I mean, you got to love the pressure.
This Tampa, Florida native has been staring down pressure for 4 straight years, and the Wolverines are glad he's been there. But Garrett also says the partnership works both ways. This
place totally shapes you into be like who you're going to be. And, I mean, it's not all about football when you come here. I mean, there's a lot of things you're going to learn while you're here. And it's a great program, and, I mean, they help you out in all different aspects of your life.
Garrett Reeves done a great job. Well, you stand behind him with a stopwatch, and then when he misses, you don't say anything.
You know, Jim,
you're a bad guy.
Nobody knows who a kicker is until he misses one or makes one at the end of the game. You know, and they take all that for granted. And but certainly the coaches, players don't. Garrett Reeves has had a sensational year, and he's also taken over the kickoff duty. He's done a great job. He's an outstanding leader on our team.
Yeah, and you've always said, you know, that Garrett has done a great job. You make a point of that because sometimes the kickers do get overlooked.
Well, you know, the guy that snaps the ball, the guy that holds it, you know, Ross Ryan, it's always a team game. But Garrett's one of those guys, he's never made excuses. And as he said there, he likes the pressure, you know, and it's a great feeling as a coach to know that you have a guy there that wants that pressure.
Absolutely. When we come back, we will look at the Indiana Hoosiers, but first we hear from Lamar Woodley talking about Wolverine opponents. We'll take note of the Ball State game.
When teams look at this game right here, they're going to see some of the things Ball State did, and they're going to see some of the things that we did for us, offense and the defense. And in a mindset, that gives them the same mindset like as if they can stay in the game with us too. So I think that we gave them more confidence that they already had going into this game.
Big game. So, I mean, going down there and playing the team with that type of offense and with the things they're able to do, this will be a good test for us, and it really makes us get back being focused. You know, we can't overlook Indiana, and because I know they've been waiting for this game.
Now, Steve Breston says a mouthful there, Lloyd. As you go into Indiana, the Ball State game in many ways does get this team a little refocused about you're back to the Big Ten, you're back to a team who has won some big games this year, upset some teams.
Well, they beat Iowa and they beat Michigan State, and they're a team, a very, very young team, very, very talented offensive football team.
And they've got some real things to play for. Indiana, Terry Hepner, their head coach from Miami of Ohio, had brain cancer earlier this year, had an operation, so they're playing with a real, you know, sense of urgency to some degree. And this kid, the quarterback, you feel is going to be a star.
I think he's a rising star. I think he's one of the finest young quarterback prospects in the nation. A guy that can throw the football as well as you want him to throw it, and a guy that's a great athlete. And speaking of great athletes,
how about speed here with Marcus Thigpen?
Jim, you know, he's a great track man at Indiana. Great kick returner, and a guy that has made a lot of big plays. They moved him into the backfield where he's a force. And then when you add Kevin Hardy, number 82 there, James Hardy, I'm sorry, a guy that's a big target, great receiver. This team can score points.
All right, 6'7" is Hardy. On defense, you got Bailey, outside linebacker, Myers, their free safety. Here you get a look at Tracy Porter, their cornerback, second in total tackles on their team, tied with 3 interceptions. This is a club that is making strides in progress. It's a story down in Indiana, isn't it?
Well, they've done a great job getting their fan base back. We're expecting a sellout down there. And, you know, I know that they're going to put everything they have into this game because they won 5 games, one more, they're bowl eligible, which would be, you know, a dramatic turnaround.
And they're coming off they got hammered by Minnesota on Saturday. That almost makes them even more dangerous, doesn't it? Because they're a little bit more hungry after that game, huh?
Well, I know this. You know, I've watched enough of their film to know that they play extremely hard, I think their coaching staff has done a great job building confidence in this team. And this kid that plays quarterback, he is something.
Well, one thing we want to talk about, and it's not a pleasant thing, but we want to mention a good friend of the Michigan family, a former coach and assistant with Lloyd, passed away this past week, Milan Vuletic. And Lloyd, I know he's one of the great guys out there. We loved him when he was here. He went on to coach after he left Michigan, but this is a guy that you hate to see leave us because he left too early.
Well, he was just an outstanding man, a guy that all the players loved. He has two sons, Brian, who played at Michigan State, Danny, who played at North Carolina, and our hearts and thoughts and prayers go out to his family and his wife, Rosemary.
Yeah, he's a great man, and we will miss him indeed. We don't want you to miss next week. It'll be Michigan versus Indiana right here, same time, same place on Michigan Replay. Michigan Replay has been brought to you in big